Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be diving into tonight's NBA slate, November 20th, Wednesday slate, so it's going to be a pretty fun video. If you guys have not checked out my NBA videos and this is your first one, welcome. In these, I'm not going as far in depth, I would say, as my NFL videos. A lot of news changes in NBA right up until lock, so I'm going to be giving what, for me now, are three of my favorite plays of tonight's slate. And then we have a pretty big slate, though. We do have an 11-game slate, a few teams on the back-to-back. So we're going to jump right into this one. It's going to be a pretty short and sweet video. I hope you guys can appreciate that and enjoy that. Right now, though, Kyrie Irving is still out for this game against Charlotte. And that, for me, with Karis LeVert out, is going to lock in Spencer Dinwiddie. I played him not last night, but 2 nights ago when they were the same injuries were going on, and Spencer Dinwiddie, his usage rating just goes through the ceiling. He dropped like 50 fantasy points, and I don't plan on fading him here in this matchup against Charlotte. So I'm locking in Dinwiddie because of that increased usage rating with those two off the court. And then coming over to shooting guard, though, or small forward, he's eligible for either. So we know Justice Winslow is out. Justice Winslow, since he's been out, Jimmy B's usage is through the roof. And as long as he remains to be sub 8K with Justice Winslow off the court, I don't plan on fading Jimmy Butler. It just makes way too much sense to me. I don't understand his price tag still. This is an early morning thing. I do want to see where some of the ownership falls, but for me now, both of these guys are fine for me in cash. And I think they both have really, really high ceilings too. So I'm happy to play both of these guys, and that's going to bring me to the other side of that ball in the Miami and the Cleveland game. Over here to the 5, if we scroll down a little bit, we're going to know Tristan Thompson's out for this game. Kevin Love's going to play. He's probable anyway. But they already have Kevin Love starting at the 4. It looks like at the 5, we're going to see Ante Zizic get the start. He's down here cheap. He's like 3,400, and that's probably the number one value play on the slate if he does draw this start against Miami. And that's something that we got to keep an eye on. He hasn't had a ton of he just hasn't had a big sample size throughout the season, and it's a risk I'm willing to take at 3,400. If he does draw the start and he gets 15 to 20 plus minutes, then we're going to be absolutely fine just plugging him in for that $3,400 risk. But again, that's something we have to keep an eye on because it's 11:42 in the morning right now. We have no idea who's starting at the 5 for Cleveland, but I assume it will be Ante Zizic. And then after that, you can do a few more things here. Those are the 3 guys I want to lock in early in the morning and kind of prioritize in the video. But there are a few other guys that we can't just go without talking about. I think Russell Westbrook is in a really, really great spot at just 8,600. We saw him finally get back on track to some Russell Westbrook-like numbers. But I think that this is going to be a really, really good opportunity for him to kind of follow that up against this Denver team. Hopefully this game stays competitive. I haven't looked at any of the lines yet, or the implied team totals, whatever you want to call them. But I do like Russell Westbrook and Luka Doncic as 2 of the high-priced studs that I'm looking to pay up for. The Golden State Warriors have just been getting eaten alive by guys on point, and Luka Doncic he's just on fire. He's been on fire all year. He's had 5 70-point games, and he's only 10.4K. That's like the exact same as James Harden. I don't think James Harden's had more than 5 70s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 70s, except James Harden is 11.8K. Regardless, Luka Doncic has the same James Harden-esque ceiling, I think. I think he's actually more likely for a triple-double than Harden is on top of those 40 points, though. So I'm definitely really liking the Luka Doncic play tonight. We have to keep an eye, though, on some of the news in that game, too, because whoever gets the start for Golden State is going to determine how much I love Luka Doncic. We got to watch out and make sure that game's going to stay competitive because I could see him absolutely smoking them. And then I also want to mention some of these Boston guys. Let me pull them up real quick. You're going to find a lot of really good point per dollar value here on some of these Boston players. Jason Tatum, point per dollar wise, I like tonight, even at 7,600. I don't think I'll be playing him in cash, but I do think that he's got a really solid ceiling with a decent floor. And then also, not a Boston guy anymore, but it just reminded me being on Boston. Terry Rozier for the Charlotte team over here. Terry Rozier is actually in a really, really interesting spot tonight against Brooklyn. I think that he's going to have a monster game. So that's another player to keep in mind. These are also all players that we will be talking about on my live stream in just about 2.5 hours now. Right around 2 to 2:15, I will be going live. The link to my stream is in the description below. Make sure you come out. You don't have to have a Twitch account or anything like that. If you do, make sure you follow the stream. That way you get notified when I do go live. But I will be live probably for a couple hours, probably like from roughly 2 to 4, give or take 30 minutes on either side. It's going to be a really fun one. We're going to be able to talk about a lot more. We get a lot more news just right there in that early afternoon period, and then I might even be live streaming later on tonight up until lock as well. So definitely come check that out. You're going to get a lot more information there than you are in this video because it is so early in the morning. And then we will also we will go over a lot more there just in general. I mean, we'll kind of break down every game, the plays I'm interested from each game, and I hope to see you guys out there. So if you haven't checked that out before, definitely click the link in the description below, twitch.tv/, and then you will see my username. Hop on over there, and I do want to see y'all over there right around 2 o'clock. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get it on this NBA slate tonight.